adding another one, I understand. I'm just upset that that's the one that gets cut, because that's the one in Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. That's the one where the hero returns different and
Yes.
has to bestow boons and blessings upon his people. And
Yes.
the hobbits never get to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that misses the whole hero's journey. Whereas the coronation well, we need the coronation of the king,
Oh yeah,
but do
big
we
time.
need all the details of all these endings? I think that's one that's really important, and I get a little bummed out that it's missing in the movies.
Yeah.
You get only a glimpse of what could happen when you have these visions of the Shire falling to orcs, but it
Right.
never actually happens. So the heroes never actually get to. They come back, and the hobbits are just as stupid. Pardon the
Right.
vulgar word I used for them. They're just as stupid and ignorant about what happened. They have no
Yeah.
clue that
They're
anything
in
ever
their
happened. And
bubble. They're completely oblivious to what the world
I'm
is really
like,
like. Yeah.
damn, okay,
Yeah.
well, shit, that leaves a huge narrative off.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, I agree with you that I think that's very fascinating. Actually, Heather Hamilton and I were talking about that. Well, she told me about it. She sent me a graphic. It's like a little wheel, a little circle of the hero's
Yeah, I've
journey
used
from
I've used it
Campbell.
before.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and what's funny is that sort of completing the circle and that return, the hero sort of return back to the
Hmm.
beginning. Um, is the reason she shared it with me is that like it's kind of like where I feel like I'm at right now in my spiritual journey. Like I'm at a
Hmm.
place of like that whole thing about uh, building the new without fighting the old is a bit of that. Like how do I bring the new back to my tribe that I used to be with that I've left. And so
Yeah.
I get that it's an important part of that journey for everybody, but in the artistic side of things, like I think about the other sort of great cinematic trilogy, right? Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Sure.
It also ignores that part of the journey, right? There is no Luke doesn't go back to Tatooine and restore the evils of what the Empire has done to his
Yeah.
people and rebuild the farm or whatever, um, yeah, so it seems like
But
that's a missing
does
ingredient in
yeah.
general in storytelling, at least for in the West. We don't include that. I can't even think of a movie that does that.
Which is ironic because George Lucas was a huge follower
Yes,
of Joseph Campbell's thought.
yeah, it is
But
interesting.
Star Wars is more open ended, right? Like this is a universe that then takes on uh, graphic novels,
Oh, dude, it's
comic
like
books,
so expansive. Yeah,
and so what Luke's story is afterward doesn't that happen? Like I think Disney botched the new
yes,
movies,
yes,
but doesn't he go on to like start an academy?
yeah. In
Right.
the
I
novels,
think that's in the novels. What's canon? I don't know. I'm not a Star Wars nerd, so I
yeah,
don't
I'm
know
not
what's
either.
canon.
I'm not either. So I'm sure I'm going to botch this. Listeners, if you know, yeah, I'm sure you can write in and correct us.
Don't come
But
in and be like, well, actually.
well, actually, that's not what happened. But as far as my vague, fuzzy memory of the graphic novels and the novels, which I have friends who read them and were really into them. Um, the graphic novels don't follow the novels, so like the graphic novels have a story I think where Luke does eventually turn to the dark side
Mm,
with the Emperor, but it's to kill the Emperor because the Emperor has been cloning himself and he's going to put himself in a younger body or something like that. That's called the Dark Empire. There's Dark Empire graphic novel trilogy, and that's really cool. I've read that. But in the novels, I think he gets married. He has like twins. He has kids, and then he does start a Jedi Academy, right? So that's probably the hero's journey part, right?
that
In the
if
novels, that now he's gone back. He's now the old. He's
mhm.
like the Obi-Wan. He's the old master.
Yeah,
He's training these young Padawans,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That's how I would see it. Um, I that's where I think to the Star Wars thing butchered it. Like you've got
Yeah, the movies suck. Yeah,
Finn in number 7. Like he doesn't take any of this sort of thing. Like you've got this whole journey of Luke finding out about the Force
yes, and his
and
father.
going through these trials and tribulations and
Yeah,
seeing his father Darth in the cave and cutting his head off
yeah.
in the vision and going through all this shit. And then Finn comes along and picks up a lightsaber and is just like
Yeah,